Geosci 106 video project. Our video project was over tectonic plates and was created by Castillo, Darren, Nhieu, and Nolan. The first plate boundary is a divergent plate boundary. That is when the crust moves apart from one each other and magma pushes up through the mantle. This is a primary transportation of new oceanic crust. An example of a divergent plate boundary is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. It's a divergent tectonic boundary where the Eurasian and North American plates are moving away from one each other, causing molten rock to rise to the Earth's mantle. The second type of plate boundary is convergent plate boundaries. Convergent plate boundaries are when two tectonic plates go into one another. There are three subtypes of convergent plate boundaries. The first type of convergent plate boundary is an oceanic to oceanic boundary. This is when two oceanic plates collide, creating volcanic isles and earthquakes. An example of an oceanic to oceanic boundary are the Aleutian Islands in Alaska. There, many volcanic isles have sprouted up, as well earthquakes are fairly frequent. The second type of convergent plate boundary is an oceanic to continental boundary. The oceanic to continental boundary can be defined by either subduction or collision. In subduction, the oceanic plate is forced beneath a continental plate, and for collision, the oceanic plate gets pushed over the continental boundary. An example of an oceanic to continental boundary would be the Andes Mountains in the Nazca Ridge. There, the oceanic plate subducts underneath the continental plate, forming the Andes Mountains. The final type of convergent plate boundary is continental to continental boundaries. Continental to continental boundaries are known for its mountain building when two of the boundaries collide head-on with no subduction. Earthquakes are fairly common due to the stress. Folded and thrust faults are the pressure that creates this shift and aids in the rock building of the mountain. Now, continental rifts are a rare occurrence where the lithosphere begins to split apart. A very famous example of continental to continental boundaries are the Himalayan mountains. There, for the past 50 million years, the result of two continental boundaries colliding head-on has created the mountain range. The final tectonic plate boundary is the transform plate boundary. This is when two tectonic plates slide laterally against one another, and resulting in shallow earthquakes and large displacements of rock. However, there's usually low tsunami risk and little to no volcanic activity due to these. A very famous transforming plate boundary is the San Andreas fault line. Here, some of the most deadly and strongest earthquakes have occurred. Understanding how Earth's major landforms were created are some of the most important things when trying to understand many phenomena such as mountain building, volcanoes, and earthquakes. Thank you for watching our video.